just kind of started the stream without even like sitting down yet, but oh my god. There we go. Should probably turn that light on. Okay. Am I streaming yet? It's not even like showing up. Oh yes, I am. Okay. All right. I gotta shout it out in the little Discord. Oh yes. All right. Let's get back into it. I need to get past this starting point, and I need to actually find the absolute peak I've been hearing about. Oh god. Okay. The Shiromiya Family Conference was held once every year on the first weekend of October. If a normal family were to hold a so-called family conference, you'd expect it to be nothing more than a reunion of rarely seen relatives who greet each other around buckets of sushi or something. Buckets. Fat buckets of crab legs. I don't know about that. However, part of the family's great fortune had been lent out to grandfather's children, and no one in this family was considered an adult until they had met with success in business. So this meeting literally was a conference. How much the fortune was invested, what sort of business was conducted, and how much profit was earned. As a result, how much of the fortune borrowed from the main family could be repaid. Or possibly, how much more would be borrowed for future business ventures. What lessons had they learned, and what could they learn from their mistakes? Seems that topics like these were discussed very seriously in the past. What, until freaking Kenzo had like a mental breakdown? My dad said it was like lying on a bed of nails. Apparently it used to be a very serious family meeting where people were bathed in scornful and angry voices, and some people even got slapped despite their age. Oh. Healthy little business. However, that had become a thing of the past. Now with everyone pursuing their own business ventures and achieving success, it was becoming more of a normal yearly get-together. Even so, telling grandfather about recent events was extremely stressful. So while it was nothing more than a simple get-together for us grandchildren, it was still a real stomach ache for our parents. The absence of the man who was the source of all this trouble, regardless of the reason, Probably made today's lunch taste much more delicious. Yeah, that's what we were saying in the last stream. Maybe you guys don't want him in the lunchroom. I mean, he's kind of simping somewhere else. He doesn't seem to be, doesn't have all the pieces together in his mind. The phrase, "well, the demon is not around, everyone can relax," comes to mind. Anyway, let's introduce Jessica's father, whose face I haven't seen for 6 years. The man sitting to my father's left is his older brother and Jessica's father, Uncle Oyoshiwi. This name sure is easy to read. Kraus. Now that we've gotten used to this string of weird names, our perspective is totally skewed. Okay, we just got a new character thing, right? Yeah, who was that? Oh, yeah, it's this guy. Okay. Kraus. Kinzo's first child. Oh. Okay, so yeah, this like works as like a family tree. So that's his father, that's his wife, Jessica's their kid. These all came from him. Kinzo's third, Kinzo's fourth. And these are just servants. Okay. That makes it easier to understand. Okay. So Kraus doesn't actually seem that bad. It even starts to sound kind of cool. Just like with Aunt Natsui, I didn't have many memories of speaking with Uncle Kraus. He'd never been one to chat to children, and I felt like he was always talking with the adults, just like Aunt Natsui. He does have that stature. Doesn't seem very nice. According to my father's gossip, he was a spiteful and violent man. If what he said is true, Uncle Kraus used to be very domineering from his position as the oldest sibling, and was despised by all the other siblings. Though, despite that, those siblings all seem to be chatting happily together. Oh, I probably should. I haven't really made sure the audio is good. I should probably look at it on my actual computer. What Suicide Squad kill the Justice League just like randomly pop up? Yeah. I think it's good. You guys can always just tell me if something's louder than the other. Because I'm also hearing this music like blaring in my eardrums right now. Okay. That's probably what this was. After all, they all had children of about the same age. By sharing the same family environment, they probably profited by exchanging opinions. Maybe because of that, a short while ago, the circle of parents began to discuss the exams Jessica and I would be taking. Jessica, in order to escape questions about exams from my father on her left, purposely faced right while firing off a rapid series of comments, not giving him any chance to get a word in. Okay, moving on, let's look at the end opposite from Kraus and the others. In the very last seat of the table, an old gentleman with a sturdy physique sat facing Kyrie? Is that how you say that? This is my first time meeting him. I had only just been introduced to him, but it seems he's grandfather's personal doctor, a man called Nanjo. Seemed like one. I heard he used to own a huge clinic on the nearby island of Najima, but he turned it over to his son and began living a life of leisure in his old age. Did I just get something? Alright, yeah, I have everything now. Physician. Dr. Phil. I don't know, I'm in the Simp. Hideyoshi, why does George have to be your son? Bro. That's just tragic. Alright. You know grandfather since the very beginning, when the mansion was first constructed on this island, and he had built up a relationship over several decades. Oh. Doesn't really seem like it. I don't even think I've seen them talk to each other that I remember. I thought at first that the two of them might have gotten to know each other through grandfather's suspicious hobbies, but it seems he was actually grandfather's chess partner. Oh. The kind of hobby seems very like our grandfather, with his love of all things Western and things that start with a B. Nanjo's probably the only person who could enter Rokunjima despite being neither a family member nor a servant. He looked like a calm old gentleman as he listened to the discussion between Kyra and the other woman who sat near to him. Considering how long he stayed by the side of our short-tempered grandfather, his generous heart was probably nothing to laugh at. Let's see. Okay. Still, even if he was a family doctor, having anyone outside the Ishiromiya family attend the family conference was a little odd. It made me think that grandfather's condition might have worsened so much it'd be a major topic of discussion at today's conference. Bro, he's gone. Kinzo is done. After all, George said something like that just a second ago. It's not about how we've been getting continuous reports since around last year. The grandfather didn't have long to live. It's nasty to think about it, but consider how rich grandfather is. At the time of his death, his wealth will suddenly be released, probably along with a fair share of our parents' stomach acid. You know, the ulcers for everyone. After all, this sort of thing just gets messier when there's more wealth to be divided. There's a good chance they'll be talking about stuff like that at the family conference. Still, it's not like it's got anything to do with us kids. Finally, even though he hasn't shown up, let me introduce our grandfather. I'm very introduced, I've got to say. You know, he talks to the wall every now and then. He likes I mean, I wouldn't say fictional, but you know, he likes fictional women at his age. Nothing too wrong with that, I guess, but he kind of lets it get in the way of his life. So, okay, the person who should be sitting in that incipient's chair is Ushiromiya Kinzo. Or Yushiromiya? I don't know, man. I'm so bad at pronouncing these names. It really sucks. Everyone else in the family has these weird names, but he's got this perfectly normal one himself. I mean, he couldn't really name himself, but yeah. If only his name were written Kinzo, but he'd let us call him Goldsmith or something. I'd totally freak out. But you can probably guess by now, he's a frightening person with an extremely short temper. I'm one of his grandchildren, not a son, and I haven't seen him since elementary school. Thanks to that, I have no memory of being beaten myself, but our parents were apparently raised with an iron fist. Because that's kind of normal for older people, older parents. That earlier conversation between my dad and Uncle Kraus about who should go convince grandfather to come down seems pretty darn funny once you know their background. Oh god, I guess we are getting into Kinzo. I thought like my thumbnail today was just gonna be like completely irrelevant, but he's actually a pretty big focus here. You can't really tell grandfather's story without covering that pivotal event back before the Showa era, 1926 to 1989. Oh god, we're getting all backstory now? Until the Meiji 1868, 1912, and Taishu 1912-1926 eras, the Ushiromiya family was great and prosperous. They owned several spinning mills, making them rich enough to just double over laughing every day as the money kept rolling in. Incidentally, grandfather was a member of a branch family and had pretty much nothing to do with the main family. Not only was he way down the list of people who could inherit the headship, but he had hardly any contact with the glamorous main family. During the Great Kanto earthquake in the year Taisho 12, 1923, the mansion owned by the Ushiromiya family in Odawara was flattened. The spinning mills in Tokyo were all burned down in a huge fire. And the Ushiromiya family lost most of its wealth and family members in an instant. Would he like make a deal with freaking Beatrice? Freaking burn them all alive? In Kinzo's later reminiscences, he referred to this as good fortune so great that it overturned fate. With that, grandfather's boring everyday life did a 180. He was entrusted with reviving the dying Ushiromiya family, which had lost nearly all of its wealth. However, just because he had been entrusted with this task didn't mean he could accomplish it. Apparently those around him weren't really expecting much. Oh, brother. However, this is when grandfather began displaying his extraordinary talent and good luck. Grandfather used all the family's remaining wealth, as well as everything from the hair on his head to his toenails, as collateral in order to borrow a massive amount of money. Oh god. Once he'd built up a gigantic war chest, he immediately invested in businesses. It was like someone tumbling down a hill on a bike without any brakes, then jumping onto a neighboring bike, and then another one. It's like some crazy street performance. I bet everyone thought grandfather had no business ability whatsoever. Maybe a little bit too lucky. I feel like he made a deal with a certain witch. I don't know. After several miracles and turns of good luck, with coincidences piling up and every chance taken advantage of, he was suddenly in control of powerful connections with the occupying forces. At that time, MacArthur and the GHQ were the ultimate authority in Japan. Grandfather, in a twinkle of an eye, began succeeding in business under the protection of the occupying forces, quickly becoming very rich. By this point, it's probably safe to say that information, not luck, saved the day. He must have made some seriously deep connections with the occupying forces. Grandfather knew beforehand about emergency demands that would be made for the Korean War. No, it was more than that. He must have predicted those emergency demands from the very beginning, when he started investing his money. History books make it sound like all of Japan made a large profit off the emergency demands during the Korean War. But that isn't actually true. Oh my god. This is a lot. Okay. I mean, it's not... I mean, I've read more, but... this must have gotten from this game. Yeah, most of the citizens remained poor. In other words, grandfather was a member of this extremely lucky group of winners. Wonder if all the winners saw a certain girl. If they all went crazy. I'm pretty sure this all happened during the year Showa 25, 1950 or so. The Great Kanto earthquake happened in Taisho 13, 1924. So that means grandfather was able to revive the near-dead Ushiromiya family in only about 20 years to a level even higher than it had ever been before. Kenzo's just that guy. With that, you'd think he'd revive the main family in Odawara. For some reason, he went and did something as crazy as buying an entire small island in the Izu archipelago. Did I even say that? Buying an entire island is not something that you can ordinarily do today. Unless you're Mr. Beast, of course. However, grandfather was clever. He contacted the GHQ and applied for the establishment of a marine resource base. What if this entire time Kenzo was just trying to make a YouTube video? He's not trying to surpass the family, he's trying to surpass the #1 YouTuber right now. He acquired this island as a business property, then tossed that project aside and claimed it as his own plot of land. After the war, there were prevention measures against food shortages, and having the sponsorship of GHQ meant that nobody could oppose him. From what I've heard, the Tokyo metropolis of that day offered this land to him practically for free. Probably because it's like cursed or something. Later, Tokyo made difficulties by telling Kenzo to return the land, but the pushy GHQ intervened. Anyway, it seems under the table bribes did their work well. In the end, the city gave up in frustration. Grandfather, with considerable skill and good luck, managed to weather the stormy seas of that period, obtaining a vast fortune in his own land, his own island. Of course, it probably wasn't all luck. He was obsessed with all things Western, which helped him cultivate his English skills. He was able to use this to his advantage and sink his teeth into the GHQ. Okay. A mansion was built on the island soon after. This mansion, in fact, Grandfather, with his love of the Western style, made this once uninhabited island a canvas upon which he could realize his dreams to his heart's content. He now had the Western mansion of his dreams, overflowing with emotion and atmosphere, and a beautiful garden featuring all sorts of roses. And he had a private beach where nobody other than himself would ever be permitted to leave a footprint. This would be a dream come true for any boy. Or girl. After that, he made good use of his fortune, becoming a large stockholder in the extremely stable iron and steel industry, and was able to live an easy and comfortable life just using the dividends. But watching this from the Yumi cord, have fun. Oh, thank you. Baldi. Oh god, Baldi. I like forgot that game like existed. Baldi's Basics. That's an old one. Not that old, but like I remember playing that when I like first started my channel. Or like reacting to things about it. But Grandfather denies all of that, repeatedly saying that he was simply blessed with extraordinary luck. Bro was doing it all for Beatrice. That's the only thing bro cares about. Anyway, even a lord like that can't help but grow increasingly eccentric when locked up alone on an island, where all his dreams are made real. Everyone knows that he's had a Western obsession from the start, but none of our parents really know when his bizarre black magic hobby began. Did his love of black magic begin way back when he became fascinated with everything Western? Or did his miraculous stretch of good luck or reviving his family cause him to feel a mysterious power in himself? I don't know. At some point, Grandfather began to make the research of black magic his life's work. He filled his study up with suspicious books, chemicals, and magical items as he became increasingly bizarre. I can't change the name on this. It's good, a blast from the past. Yeah. The game was decent back in the day. I don't even know if there's like a full game for it yet. I haven't like heard anything about that game in so long. I don't know if it's even popular still. You just finished the whole visual novel? How long did that take you? Bro, I'm like scared. I don't know how long this is. I know it's like super long, but like I don't know how long it's gonna take me to finish this. So good to go back and begin the cycle again. Yeah, I've heard that. I'm guessing it gets like extremely juicy later on. Yeah. It's still being worked on. Frequent Kickstarter updates. It has an interest in development history. Yeah, I'm like the game didn't really seem that complicated. I wonder what like the full game is gonna be. Maybe like a bunch of game modes. I don't know. I'll have to look at the Kickstarter. Kind of curious about that. Oh my god. My throat's like dying. I'm only 30 minutes in. It's kind of dry where I live right now, though, so. Alright, there's no way that's true. They were probably just creeped out thinking, that's disgusting. I don't want to get involved. Anyway, that agitated period was an age of big gambles, with both opportunities and risks. Let's say grandfather was born in this time period. He would have had no opportunities and would probably have advanced like a chess piece from mandatory education to college at a leisurely pace, never becoming more than an average salaryman. If that happened, he'd probably have sat somewhere happily talking behind his boss's back. No, not in a fancy dining hall like this, more like at a table in some bar. Then again, I'll bet this family conference would be a whole lot more relaxing if that were the case. Oh god, bro. They all don't want him in here. Anymore, at least. That's enough about the old geezer. More importantly, let's talk about this incredible lunch. Oh my god. My eardrums just burst. I don't know why that was so much louder than everything else. I'm already convinced by that. It's the sashimi salad. Good, I don't have to really read much anymore. Bro, I like, can't even like see your entire message because like this heart is in the way. So it's like a emote button. I need to like look on my phone. I'm currently the 4th slowest reader of Umineko according to a visual novel database. What? The journey is what matters. I believe in you. He's also streaming this game on the Umineko Discord, and it was the funniest experience of all time. Recommend sharing your thoughts there. Yeah, probably. Let's get around to it. This beginning bit may feel slow, but I can personally promise you're in for a fun time. Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people that this is like peak. It is a little bit slow right now, but I mean, the characters are decent enough that it's not like, you know, like terrible to get through. But I'm just not used to reading like this big of a visual novel. Yeah. Everyone let out a big hearty laugh. Damn it. You say that even though you love those cheap pubs.
僕も仕事の都合で珍しいところで食事をすることもあるけど、それらと比べてもこれはかなりのものだよ。
George, if you guys don't know, George is the #1 op right now. I don't like George. It's not even because he said anything bad. It's just that I just don't like him. I don't know.
ゴーダさんは多分その道じゃ少しは知られた人だったんじゃないかな。
Like, bro looks at me like he pays like every last bill.
よくは知らねえんだけどよ。
Now, Jessica.
老舗ホテルでのれん分けだか派閥の分裂だかややこしいことがあってよ。
Jesus Christ.
そのトラブルで辞めざるを得なくなっちまったんだってさ。それでその時偶然おふくろが使用人の求人を出してたわけなんだよ。
Oh god, this guy. This guy's like terrifying. I don't know what it's about. This Goda removed the empty plates, began to recount his own bumpy past without losing his smile.
世の中というのは難しいものです。しかし、そのおかげでこうして今日、後宮家で再び料理人として腕を振るう機会を賜ることができました。大勢の方の笑顔も嬉しいですが、お仕えすると決めた限られた方々にだけ喜んでいただくために繊細なお仕事ができるのもとても楽しいことでございます。これもすべて機会をくださった奥様のおかげです。
Madam? Koda-san respectfully bowed his head towards Aunt Natsui.
応募のあった中
Oh,
で
you.
ゴーダが一番腕が良かったからです。客観的判断に基づくもので市場はありませんので感謝には及びません。
Dang, why does Aunt Natsui always have to sound so indifferent? If only she spoke with a bit more kindness, you might leave a different impression. Oh god. Shannon, how you doing? No, this is my #1 right here. Kumasawa. We did some interesting things to Shannon last time.
それでは本日のデザートに移らせていただきます。
Guda-san and the others laid the beautifully adorned dessert out in front of us all. I guess it's true when they say you have another stomach for dessert. I thought I'd already filled up on delicious food, but as soon as I laid eyes on that dessert, my stomach started yelling, "More!" I don't know much about desserts, but this looked really good. Bro, that serotonin level just spikes from that chocolate. A white pudding-like substance was garnished with 2 shades of red sauce. And elegant rose petals adorn the dish. Normally during a high-class meal like this, you're supposed to wait for the chef to extol the virtues of this particular meal before eating. However, Maria was completely indifferent to strict rules like that, so she got excited by this beautiful and delicious looking dessert, jumping into the fray as soon as it was placed before her. Aunt Rosa scolded her, calling it bad manners, but George responded by saying, "No, it's okay." Of course George did. Did Maria like ever learn the alphabet? She did not. Maria exclaimed as she sampled the two colored sauces.
なんだと？当たりと外れがあるのかよ。よし、俺も味見をしてやるぜ。
Apparently one sauce was sweet and the other sour. Despite it being bad manners, I also stuck my little finger in and licked it. One of the sauces was sour enough to make you pucker up. If it were yellow, I'd have suspected lemon, but I couldn't guess what kind of sourness would be red. I mean, blackberries, raspberries, a little bit sour. Decided to ask Shannon, who was putting away the serving cart behind us.
シャノンちゃん、この酸っぱいのは何のソースだい？
Come quiet. Shannon? Maybe her job was just to set the table, so she doesn't really know. Still, even considering that, she seems pretty stressed. Bartley gives you that impression. Maybe I shouldn't have asked. Or did they use some ingredient that would be better off not knowing about? What the frick do you mean by that? Well, Natsui made a gesture that seemed to indicate an oncoming headache. Kumasawa, who was sitting the table at the opposite seat, began to chuckle.
何の材料を使っていると思いますか?
You think we made it out of?
驚きますよ。
全然わかんねえぜ。というか、熊沢のばあさんがそういう笑い方すると不気味でならねえぜ。で、何なんだよ、正体は。
内緒ですよ。お耳を拝借。
I'm listening. Kumasawa leaned across from the other side of the table. I leaned forward myself when she asked. Their interests caught Jessica, George, and, of course, Maria also put their ears closer. Brother.
この酸っぱいのはですね、実はお魚のサバの絞り汁ですよ。
A mackerel.
サバ？
That's crazy. We all thought we were fine. Only Maria, what the frick was that? Maria accepted it, nodding sagely.
ほー、サバは酸っぱいよ。絞ったらこう
I
なる。
guess they are, I don't know. Some nice juicy juice. What, do we just like smash each other? When Maria started clamoring that mackerel were sour, the adults were unable to contain their laughter.
違うわよ。酸っぱいのはしめサバでしょ。
What? Who just said something? What? Only Aunt Rosa, her face red, whispered to Maria that mackerel is sour only once prepared as shimasaba. Now I totally remember. Kumasawa was always like this, wasn't she? I think I remember her tricking me too in all sorts of ways when I was young. The most lethal has gotta be that one. Those flimsy black things in Chinese dishes. They are kigurage mushrooms. She told me they were penguin meat. I went all around school like a smartass telling everyone, didn't I?
熊沢のばあちゃん、相変わらずだな。
That's why she's the goat.
マリアが信じちゃうだろ？
冗談ですよ。今からゴ
Bro,
ーダさん
Ballard
が
is blushing.
ソースの
He's
正
blushing.
体を教えてくれますからね。
He's blushing. What? He's into the grannies. Goda looked a little put off about his masterpiece being laughed at for such a bizarre reason. But after clearing his throat once, he introduced the dessert to us.
それではデザートのご説明をさせていただきます。本日はご来賓の皆様が大層お気に入りでございましたバラの庭園にちなみまして、パンナコッタをローズガーデン風に仕上げてみました。散らしてございますバラの花びらは当家の庭園より先ほど採取してきたものでございます。ソースはストロベリーとローズヒップの2色の赤をご用意しました。ストロベリーの甘味とローズヒップの酸味を交互にお楽しみになってください。なお花びらは観賞用となっておりますので、避けてからお召し上がりくださいませ。それではどうぞお楽しみください。
Alright. Whoa, man, I almost want to applaud before eating. Just like with medicine, reading the detailed description first seems to make it work a whole lot better. As Gouda elaborated on the details of this dessert, I started to feel even more appetizing. Seriously, should you call him subtle or just talented? The dessert was probably planned from the beginning, but taking the hint when we all stopped in front of the rose garden earlier today, he displayed an incredible and timely awareness by just adding a few rose petals from that garden. This combination of sweet and sour was also exquisite. If it was just sweet, you just get used to it and bored halfway through. But if you reach the sour sauce at that point, you get a really vivid taste. And then once you return to the sweet sauce, all of the sourness in your mouth would be replaced with an enjoyable sweetness. Bro, this is like just remind me of that time when I had to like my teacher in like 6th grade, I think. They made me write like an entire essay about how a Snickers bar tasted. Like I had to write like a detailed like description about it. I was like dazed. I didn't know what to say. Like the nougat was creamy and tear it apart nicely and a nutty flavor. It complemented the sweetness of the chocolate and the peanuts, the saltiness. God, I didn't know what to say. I'm sure everyone else felt the same way. Every time Gouda passed by one of our seats, someone praised the taste in his presentation.
いかがですか、奥様。
相変わらず見事です。お客様をおもてなしするに値します。
恐れ入ります。奥様、ご存知ですか？ローズヒップには頭痛に効く効果もあるそうですよ。奥様に特にお気に入りいただけるかと思い、特別にご用意させていただきました。
Oh.
そう。ありがとう。ほら言ったでしょ。
I'll just be in the middle for now.
ローズヒップは頭痛に効くって。みたいね。効くといいんだけど。
Oh.
合田さん、あんたには惚れるで。なあ、後であんたの待遇を聞かせてや。無理ならあんたの欲しい年収指立ててくれるだけでもええんやで。
Hideyoshi, you're still good and all, but I learned that George was your son, so I'm just... There's a little bitter taste in my mouth now.
あんたの腕がこの島だけで独占されとるのは人類の食文化に対する冒涜や。
いや。
その腕、わしの会社で振るってお客の皆さんを喜ばせてみる気はないかのう。
秀吉さん、うちのゴーダを引き抜かれるのですか？これは困った。ゴーダの待遇をもっと良くしないと引き抜かれてしまいそうだ。
そうした方がいいわね。
Right, I like Ava's character design like probably the most.
じゃないと引き抜かれて3食が熊沢さんのサバ料理にされちゃうわよ。
これは手厳しゅうございます。
Bro, what did Kumasawa look like in her prime?
すっかり根に持たれてしまいまして。
You guys good? Mackerel jokes were a running gag that her parents had long since gotten used to. According to Jessica. Kumasawa often claimed that mackerels had precious nutritional value which could slow aging, make people smarter and more. Supposedly, while it couldn't stop the outward signs of aging, it helped prevent aging on the inside. Since she was still spirited enough to tell these kinds of jokes at her age, there must be something to that theory. The inside is more important, after all.
夕食にはふるってたくさんのサバ料理をお召し上がりいただきますので、どうぞご期待くださいませね。
Alrighty.
期待してるよ。今晩はしめ鯖でキュッとしゃれ込みたいぜ。
それは素敵ね。ついでに日本酒の美味しいのも出てこないかしら。
This is just gonna be trying to date everyone in Umineko Part 2. Bro.
ございますよ。六軒島名物のサバ焼酎なるものがございまして。
My stomach is rumbling right now. Kumasawa, together with Shannon, bowed and pushed the serving cart away. It was pretty fun to watch Goda, who looked like his show had totally been stolen, explain in a serious voice that we would be having calf steak for dinner.
熊沢さん、さっきはありがとうございました。
She pushed the serving cart. Shannon bowed her head very deeply.
なんもお礼を言われることなんてありません。
Kumasawa may have played dumb, but she had obviously understood and saved Shannon in the nick of time. Back when Battler had asked about dessert, Shannon had unfortunately hesitated. There may have been several ways to dodge the question, but all of them would have required some quick wits. Shannon, who hesitated when hard pressed for a response, was always suffering because of this small weakness. If only Shannon had a little of the craftiness needed to cleverly shake off a mistake like Goda, her life would have been a bit easier. The fact that she could perform other tasks flawlessly made this weakness even more unfortunate. However, there were some who understood Shannon's honest nature, her inability to gloss over a mistake and draw attention away from it. That was why Kumasawa had smoothly come to her rescue.
さっき源氏さんが午後のシフトに変更があるとおっしゃってましたよ。確かシャノンさんは夕方までお休みがもらえたと思いました。羨ましい。
Oh god.
すみません。シフト表を確認していませんでした。
そうそう。
I got like 12 hours of sleep last night and I'm like tired as crap for some reason.
オーブンでこれからちょっとサバを焼こうと思ってるんですよ。できたらお休みの前にちょっと手伝ってくれると嬉しいですね。
はい。喜んでお手伝いさせていただきます。
To Shannon, Kumasawa was like a mother among the servants. The dining hall needed to be cleaned up, so we were chased out. Instead, tea was being served in the parlor. Apparently, they'd prepared the black tea that Aunt Rosa had bought for Aunt Natsui. Maria said she also wanted to have some black tea, but my dad said she couldn't and told his children to go play outside.
バトラ君、みんなで表に散歩に行かないかい？
Alright, I'm understand now.
バラでも見に行ったらええ。
Oh god, bro.
でも天気には十分注意するんやで。空はまだ明るいが、天気予報は降る降ると繰り返しちょる。
Yeah, let's go to the freaking beach. I want to walk with George.
あら素敵じゃない？
Ava, you coming?
砂浜で遊ぶなんて
Stream
普
just
段
got
はなかな
extended
か
by
で
now.
きないものね。
Oh, stream just got extended by 3 hours?
よし、じゃあみんなで浜辺でも行こうぜ。マリア、
Oh, stream just got extended.
服を濡らさないように靴もよ。
Oh my god.
濡らさない。素直で可愛い。バトラ君、マリアちゃんの面倒ちゃんと見てあげてね。
Yes.
おうよ、任せろ。
ほう、お前もキリエに頼まれると素直で可愛いじゃねえか。たまには俺の言うことも素直に聞いてみろよ。
へっ、まっぴらごめんだぜ。行こうぜみんな。ほらほら。
Balor's voice actor is just like cracked. The children flew out of the parlor. They were replaced by Genji, who pushed a serving cart in and prepared to serve the tea. The parlor was filled with a sublime aroma, which delighted everyone while they waited to sate their thirst. I'm learning a lot of words from this game.
ルドルフのところは家族仲がいいじゃないか。良いことだ。
よせよ。兄貴のところには負けるぜ。
そうよ。ジェシカちゃん、本当に可愛らしく育ったじゃない。これも夏日姉さんの教育の賜物ね。
どうも。
That's who he answered coldly. The conversation broke off then, and the parlor fell silent. Maybe Hideyoshi couldn't bear the silence because he broke it himself with an exaggerated gesture.
しかし 成長は早いもんやで。いつまでも子供だと思っとったが、図体はみるみるでかくなり、いつの間にか大人の仲間入りや。バトラ君なんか見違えたで。
体は大きくなりましたけど、まだ子供です。
Yeah.
うちの主人も未だに子供ですけれど。
Definitely. But that's
子供
the
と大
best
人
kind
の
of
境
adult.
ってどこなのかしらね。私、未だに大人になったって自覚が持てない。
You seem like the most grown up out of like everyone here. I don't know what you're talking about.
情けないじゃないか。一児の母の言うことではない。
そうね。私たちももう子供じゃない。大人同士よ。だから感情的にならず、知的な会話をしたいわね。
What? When Ava smiled with sharp sarcasm, everyone seemed to get more tense. Felt as though that pleasant tea aroma had been tossed out the window.
知的な会話なら昔からいつも心がけ
That,
てい
that
るじゃない
clock
か。
coming in kind of got me off guard. There was something weird about the clock and like the opening of this game. There was like a it's like a symbol or something inside of it. I don't know what that was. It's like red. It was like glowing.
お前の嫌味は時に的を外している。昔から変わらない。
昔からいつもですって？あらあら。
Wow.
その言葉をきれいに放送
It is
し
with
て
the RR.
何十年か前のこの部屋に届けてあげたいわね。ねえローザ。
Rosa gave a fake smile. She knew that whether she agreed or disagreed, she'd earn the displeasure of one of her siblings. It was a bit of worldly wisdom that had been essential for someone growing up as the youngest sibling.
よせよ姉貴。ガキどもがいない間に本題に入ろうじゃねえか。それこそ知的な話よ。
As Rudolph glanced over the faces of all present, some let out a slight sigh and some let a small look of resignation across their face. They were approaching their unavoidable true agenda.
去年の時点で余命3ヶ月だったんだ。
Oh.
ってことは、
What, Kenzo?
すでにマイナス9ヶ月ってことじゃねえか。いつお迎えが慌ててすっ飛んでくるかもわからねえ状態ってことだぜ。
当主様は今でも健在でおられます。
Maybe not well.
このような不穏当な話を日も明るいうちからなさろうとするなど、ルドルフさんの正気を疑わざるを得ません。
だがな、夏日さん。こういうしょっぱい話はいざことがあってからじゃ遅いんや。今が元気だからこそ余裕あるうちにしとくもんなんやで。これも財産のエチケットみたいなもんや。
諸君の関心は親父殿のようじゃないか。
Rightfully so.
南條先生。
But yeah, what's the doctor have to say? He hasn't said like nothing.
あなたから説明してくださいませんか。彼らもそれをお望みらしい。
She's dying. That's all he said. Nanjo, who had been standing by the window and staring out at the rose garden, let out a single cough when he realized that he was being called.
南條先生、お父様の具合はどんな感じなんですか？
まずはじめに、私が去年申し上げました余命3ヶ月という言葉が一人歩きをしているようですので、その訂正からいたします。
言われずともわかるわ。余命というのはあくまでも見込みであって約束ではないとおっしゃられるのよね。
さようです。ですから皆さんからたびたびお尋ねを受けますが、いつ亡くなるのかということは決して断言できない。人の命は体と心に支えられております。体が弱れば危うくもなりますが、それを補う心の強さがあれば小康状態を維持することもあるのです。
体はともかくお心はまだしっかりしていて意気健康でいらっしゃれるということですね。
Bro ain't dying until he has Beatrice in his arms.
キリエ、すまんがしばらく黙っててくれ。
Shut up.
ごめんなさい。
さようです。金蔵さんの体はすっかり病魔に蝕まれております。ましてやあのような強いお酒をたしなまれ続けてはとてもとても。
Oh yeah, he is drinking a lot.
崖っぷちなのも酒のせい。
There probably isn't just alcohol in there though. It's probably some like elixir that is helping him with his black magic or something.
流らえてるのも酒のせいか。酒豪の親父らしいな。
それで先生、もちろん見込みで結構なんですけども、お父様、来年の今日まではさすがにどうかしら？
当主様に対してあまりに無礼な質問です。
Natsui jumped on Ava, not even bothering to hide her astonished expression. Ava stared back daringly, but Hideyoshi realized what was going on and tried to smooth things over with a forced smile.
ああ、夏井さん、カニな。
Bro's keeping the whole family together.
エヴァ、お前も少し言葉を選ばんか。
ごめんなさい。お父様の容体が気になって仕方なかったもので。
Bro, I don't know what to do about it. I'm like covering like everyone. I should probably make my webcam a little bit smaller. Like that maybe. There we go.
そうですか。それは気づきませんでした。
南條先生、聞かせてやってください。父親の寿命を気遣う娘の麗しい家族愛じゃないですか。
Kraus laughed sarcastically, and Ava, smiling sweetly, returned an identical chuckle.
来年までお元気かという質問ですが、医者の私としてはとても難しい。この小康状態がまだしばらくは続くようにも思いますし。
It's just a wild card. We fucking Kenzo.
何らかの発作が来れば、その時にはどうしようもないかもしれません。何しろ六軒島は孤島です。すぐに救急車が飛んでこれるわけではありません。本来ならば本土のしかるべき大病院に入院していただきたいところなのですが。
親父殿は高尚な研究を中断されたくないと仰せだ。去年無理に連れ出そうとしたのがあだになったらしい。外へ出れば病院に閉じ込められてしまうのではないかとひどくお疑いになられていてな。すっかりこのざまなのだよ。
南條先生の診察は受けておられるの？
親父殿は南條先生には心を許しておられる。機嫌が良ければ診察も受けられるようだがね。
容体を見はするが、薬を勧めようとも入院を勧めようとも聞き入れてくれ。本当に見るだけですがな。
お医者嫌いの方もおるもんや。しかし困ったもんだのう。
Oh god. He's... The purpose of an examination is to determine what medical treatment would be appropriate. Receiving an examination and then not following the advice given makes the whole thing pointless.
つまりおさらいすると、相変わらず余命は3ヶ月。瀕死のまま。あとどれだけ長らえるか見当もつかねえってことだ。
ルドルフさん、言葉を少し慎まれてはいかがですか？
ああ、すまんね。昔からこういう口の利き方なんだ。勘弁してくれ。
南條先生のご意見は分かりました。クラウス兄さんから見てどうなの？
I'm just like absorbing everything right now. I still don't even know what the tips even does. But
実を言うと南條先生とは異なる意見でね。とても余命3ヶ月の重病人とは思えないというのが本心だ。怒鳴り声は相変わらず健在で、いつぶん殴られるかとヒヤヒヤしっぱなしだよ。
mentally ill.
長男にだけ親父の世話を押し付けるのは実にフェアではないね。
Just has a serious case of SIMP.
来世では俺より後に生まれろよ。さて、話を戻そうぜ。そんなわけで、公正中立なお医者の先生の見解じゃ、いつお隠れになっちまってもおかしくない状態だ。兄貴には悪いが、ここは専門家の意見を採用させてもらうぜ。となりゃ、決して親父の財産を話し合うことは時期尚早ではないってことさ。
Or he wants the assets.
お父様の個人資産はおそらく数百億にも届くでしょうね。でもそれは 綺麗な現金で揃ってるわけじゃない。お誕生会のケーキみたいに綺麗にナイフが入ってカットできるほど単純じゃないでしょ。
姉貴の例えは面白いな。そうさ、ケーキの上にはイチゴやらチョコの家やらが乗ってて、綺麗に等分するのが難しいことだってあるだろう。それを加味してどういう風にナイフを入れるのか先に相談しておくのは大切なことだと思うぜ。
それを当主様が存命のうちからさも他界なされたかのように声高に議論される皆さんの気が知れません。
あら、必要な話
Is she the only
よ。
one that actually like cares about this guy?
だって遺産相続はその時点で直ちに行われなきゃならないものよ。ましてや栄光ある後宮家の財産は莫大。事前に入念な相談が必要なことはお分かりでしょうが、当家の資産はあなたのご実家とは大違いなんだから。
失礼な。私の実家は関係ありません。
予算買えば。夏日さん、堪忍な。口が悪いのは許したってな。
Ava is Hideyoshi tried to smooth things over by glancing at both with a forced smile, but it only resulted in making the hostility between Ava and Natsui even more intense.
これ以上はお邪魔なようですな。失礼させていただきましょう。
Bro, I'm just like watching this like anime now. Angel rose from his seat and exited the parlor. It's mostly because like whenever they're just like kind of talking like serious like this, I feel like there's stuff that I need to like catch. Like little hints in here, but I'm not really getting much right now. To an outsider, it may have seemed like a normal act of courtesy, but his back was watched by several glances, envious of his ability to escape. After the doctor had exited, and his footsteps had disappeared into the distance, Kraus recrossed his legs.
つまりお前たちの言い分はこうかね。
Does that signify he closed back up?
親父殿の余命は短い。遺産分配について早急かつ具体的な協議に入りたい。何を焦っているのかね。確かにお前たちの言う通り、後宮家の財産を算定し分配するのは簡単なことではないだろう。なればじっくりと算定すべきじゃないのかね。お前たちは今晩のうちにもケーキを切り分けたいと焦っているように見える。そうだろう、どうぞ。何を焦ることがあるのかね。
焦ってるわけじゃない。
Because they want the money.
でも兄弟の間での取り決めは必要。それはいつでもいいことだけれども、お父様の具合が悪くなっていてその日が近づいているというなら、先に話だけしておいてもそれは請求とは言わないと思うし。
There's a shotted glance at Ava and Rudolph. As the youngest sibling in the family, it was hard for her to be cross-examined by the eldest.
ほう。それはお前の本心かね。兄弟で一番素直で綺麗な心を持っていたお前がそんなことを言い出すとは思えんね。そこの二人に吹き込まれたんじゃないのかね。
よせよ兄貴。
Maybe they did.
ローザだって兄弟だぜ。 親父の遺産に公平な権利がある。関心を持つのは当然じゃねえか。親父だっていつかは必ず死ぬし、それは遠い未来の話でもない。むしろ兄貴が悠長すぎるくらいさ。まるで遺産分配から話をそらしたくて仕方がないように見えるぜ。
それはどういう意味ですか？主人にやましいところがあるとおっしゃいたいのですか？
まあ夏日さん、
まあ
話は聞いておくなあれ。
兄さん、今は大変強気だそうじゃない？そうよね。去年以降空前の好景気で円は上がる一方、ドルが100円に至るのだって夢物語じゃなさそうよ。それに与党は来年頃に保養地整備法を成立させようっていうじゃない。今や日本中のリゾート開発会社がどれだけ軍資金を集められるかって奔走してるところよ。
詳しいじゃないか。これから日本には空前の好景気が訪れる。
Like, really focused, right?
親父殿が後宮家を再興した時と同じくらいの大規模な需要拡大の時代がね。日本国民は死に物狂いで働き、高度経済成長を実現して世界で一番豊かな国民となり、我が世の春を謳歌するようになった。国民の消費は増大し、それを回収できる施設があぶく銭を手にする時代になったのだよ。今や国民のニーズは3種の電化製品ではない。スキー場、ゴルフ場、総合プール、リゾートホテルにテーマパーク。数年前に開業したデルゼニーランドには行ったかい？素晴らしい遊園地じゃないか。
Monkey Mouse。
あそこでは大人も童心に帰り家族で楽しむことができるんだ。かつて家族を顧みずに滅私奉公することだけが美徳だった時代はもはや終わろうとしている。我々は世界で一番豊かな国民としてようやくそれを享受できるようになったのだよ。
クラウス兄さんの読みは大したもんや。わしも数年前に聞いた時はそんなアホなと思ったわ。でもな、G5 のプラザ合意聞いてから変わったんや。円はみるみる強くなり、地価はこれから天井知らずに上がるやろ。日本が世界経済の中心になる日も遠くはない。兄さんは時代を見る目のあるお人や。それだけは間違いないで。
秀吉兄さんに同じだ。兄貴は10年越しで時代を読めてるよ。その嗅覚は親父譲りだろうな。大したもんだぜ。だが親父と違ってちょいと見通しのタイミングを読み違っちまったところはあるよな。
兄さんは
I
必
think
ず
the
日
dad
本
like
が好
legit
景
has
気を迎
foresight.
えると信じてあちこちにリゾート計画を起こし、そのほとんどで失敗し続けたわ。兄さんの読み通りの時代は確かに訪れつつあるけど、その時期を読むことには失敗したわね。早すぎたのよ。そして焦って清算して結局は傷口を広げたわ。本当に嗅覚が当てになって好景気が訪れることを読めていたなら清算するわけない。これって兄さんが自分で自分の才能を信じてない証拠じゃないの？
Wait, she just like drags on
失
everyone.
礼な。 主人を侮辱するつもりですか？
Sui's forehead creased as she rose from the sofa. Ava, paying this no heed, kind of the same thing, but stared at Kraus with a confident smile. Kraus, who also maintained his confident appearance, told Natsui to sit down.
よさないか夏日。昔からこういう言い方しかできないやつだ。少し落ち着きなさい。また頭痛に触る。
兄さんに才能がない証拠は私たちのすぐ近くにもあるわよ。だって兄さん、この島をリゾート化するって張り切ってたじゃない？素敵なリゾートホテルも建てて、庭園もきれいに整備して。私は素人だから分かりかねるけど、相当のお金を使ったんでしょう。
だから何だというのですか？主人の事業はあなたとは関係ありません。
いや、そいつは違うぜ、夏日さん。六軒島は兄貴のものじゃない。親父のものだ。もちろん建てたホテルは兄貴のものだぜ。なんなら俺たちは今夜の宿泊料を払ってやってもいいさ。な、ローザ。
それはまあ持ち合わせで足りるなら。
リゾート化できればこの島の資産価値は上がる。
What, they have to pay to stay here?
支出がかさんだことは事実だが、未来に大きな収穫を期待できる。そうなれば結果的にお前たちにとっても有益なはずじゃないか。
それはわかるわよ。この島の価値が上がれば、それを遺産分配する時の私たちの取り分も増えるもの。もちろん島や屋敷を4分の1ずつ切り取れとは言わないわ。それを算定したお金で解決してくれればいいだけの話よ。
そこまで分かっているなら、私の事業に何の不満があるんだね。
不安じゃねえぞ。不安なのさ。第一兄貴、あのホテルいつになったら開業するんだ？このままじゃ俺たちの手垢だらけになっちまうぜ。
そうよ、大切な商売道具でしょ。確かに開業するまでずっと鍵をかけておくわけにもいかないわよね。少しは使って風通しを良くしないと建物は傷んじゃうもの。でも私たちが年に一度泊まるだけのゲストハウスって言うんじゃちょっと豪勢すぎやしないかしらねえローザ。
そうね。あんなに素敵ならオープンしたらさぞや人気が出るでしょうね。
Yeah.
ああ、あなたが前に言ってたホテルってゲストハウスのことだったのね。
立派なもんだろ。ローザの言う通り、オープンできたら人気が出るだろうよ。
The lodging they had been guided to wasn't originally intended to serve as a guest house. It was originally constructed as a resort hotel. However, even though it was built 2 years previously, there was still absolutely no prospect of it opening.
兄さんのいつもの事業と同じよ。着目や企画はご立派。そしていつも途中で立ち行かなくなって何も回収できずに終わる。
この島をただ住むだけにしか使わないのはもったいないって兄貴の着眼は立派さ。そしてリゾート化してマリンスポーツやらフィッシングやら ハネムーンやらを誘致して盛り上げようってのはなかなかいい絵だったと思うぜ。俺だって長男だったならこの島を何かに有効利用できないかと頭をひねったに違いないさ。
でももう出来上がってから2年も経つのよ。2年経って未だに開業のめどはつかないの？任せてる管理会社はどこ？
失敬な。それは主人の手落ちではありません。主人の仕事を請け負う会社間でトラブルが生じているだけで、うちはあくまでも被害者です。
しかしな、クラウス兄さんが任せてる例のとこ、あまりええ噂は聞かんで。
はっきり言ってあげなさいよ。不払い横領トラブルで計画が空中分解しちゃったって話、私たちの耳に届かないとでも思ってる？裏も取れてるんだから。
何の裏だか存じませんが、事実無根です。観光業への新規参入には方々への根回しが必要になります。相手が信用に足りるかを測ることも大事です。それに手間取っているだけに過ぎません。
ホテルの完成が早すぎて勇み足になったことは認めよう。だが維持費がかかってるわけじゃない。やがて大きな意味を持つ布石だ。
嘘つけよ。生産したくても売れないだけだろ。観光ルートの確立してない何もない離島にやたら豪華なホテルなんて買い手がつくわけもねえさ。それに事業に集めた融資はどうなってんだよ。
維持費はかからんでも返せん借金は膨らむ一方や。すまんが、クラウス兄さん、この島の開発計画の話ちょいと調べさせてもろたんや。正直こっちもええ話は聞かへんのや。
秀吉さん、確かに今の財政状況だけを見たらそういう印象を持たれるかもしれない。だがこれは先行投資なのだよ。その読みを誤りこれまでに多くの負債を生んでしまったことは認めざるを得ない。だがようやく時代が私に追いついた。これまでに失った分はすぐに取り戻せる。いや、それどころかこれまでの投資だってやがては私のもとに戻ってくる。
Is he talking about when Kenzo dies?
そう例えるなら、放った稚魚が鮭となり肥えて帰ってくるようにね。
それは認めるで。これからリゾート業界は空前の好景気を迎えるやろ。これまでの負債を埋められるほどかはわからんが。だがな、クラウス兄さん、これまで散々負け続けた兄さんがどこから軍資金を調達したっていうんや。それも半端ない軍資金や。あれだけの穴を埋められる軍資金やで。
秀吉さんは何をおっしゃいたいのですか？
ああ、夏樹さん、ほんま怒らんといてえな。わしらも調べたんや。これまで負け戦続きのクラウス兄さんに最近の強気な莫大投資を支えられるほどの融資を誰ができたんか調べたんや。
結果いねえんだよ。
No such backer exists.
弱り目と逆に張るのがマネールーレットの鉄則だ。兄貴はこの界隈じゃちょいと知られた弱り目さ。確かに時代は好景気を迎えようとしているが、これまでの兄貴の失敗等を天秤、その上で融資に値すると思う連中がいるのかって言ったら誰もいなかったのさ。
ならねえ、 そのお金をどうってことになるのよ。
ほう。興味深い話じゃないか。それで？
あなた、このような暴言をいつまで放置されるつもりですか？
座れよ、夏日さん。担当直入に言おう。兄貴は親父の個人資産を自分の事業に流用してる。
Been diverting dad's private funds for your own business.
これはほぼ間違いね。これが俺たちの誤解だってんなら、どうかぜひそれを解いてもらいたいもんさ。
ルドルフ、流用なんてもんじゃないわよ。これは横領よ。刑事告発できる立派な犯罪なんだから。
無礼極まりない。仮にも後宮本家跡継ぎの後宮クラウスに向かって信じられない暴言です。
暴言じゃないわよ。図星でしょ。なんとか事業を成功させてこれまでの損失を埋めたいんだけど、その穴は広がっていく一方、博打の穴をさらに大きく張った博打で埋めたいだけよ。その軍資金がすぐ近くにあったなら手をつけるのは道理。はっきり言うわ。兄さんがしているのは横領よ。お父様に対する裏切りよ。しかるべき決着がついた後には司法、そんな輩に後宮本家跡継ぎを名乗らせるとお思い？
言うにこと書いて、当主様への裏切りとは聞き捨てがたい。この栄光ある後宮家の敷居をまたぐ資格はもはやあなたにはありません。即刻ここを出て行きなさい。さあ、ほら。
Natsui, who had already reached the limits of her anger, shouted at Ava in a rage. She then pointed alternately at Ava in the hallway, demanding that she leave. Ava took out a folding fan and fanned herself with it, glaring maliciously at Natsui as though silently daring her to repeat what she'd said. However, her mouth was still smiling, curved in the shape of a crescent moon. In that unpleasant silence, Rosa gulped.
ねえ、夏日姉さん。
I mean, Ava's...
誰に向かってそんな口をお聞きなの？
Who is Natsui? Yeah, Natsui is Krause's wife. She's not even... I don't know what I'm getting at here. Shouldn't Ava be like, have like more of a say than Natsui? Even though, I mean, she's the wife of the top guy, but seems like she has more like power than him.
これ以上は私も本家の台所を預かる者として聞き捨てなりません。
台所を預かる？
Oh my god, bro. It was so dramatic. Okay. She's lost her mind. What the frick is this? Oh, she's mad. She mad. She mad. Ava folded the fan with a snap and rose to her feet energetically. Compared to the elegance and playfulness she'd shown until a second ago, She was now unimaginably aggressive.
バカバカしい。お前が下がりなさい。
Bro, she's like, she seems like she's like a fighter or something. Anyone that has a fan that they keep with them at all times, there's probably like a knife in there.
この後ろ宮エヴァに当主様の左肩を許されている後ろ宮家序列第3位のこのエヴァに下がれと
The third ranked. I thought she was the second ranked.
身の程を知りなさい。そしてお前のそのみすぼらしい姿を鏡に映してみるがいい。お前の服のどこに翼が、どこに片翼のわしが許されているのか。
Was that the wingmans?
貴様など後ろ宮家の跡継ぎを残すためだけの存在じゃないの。身の程をわきまえるがいい、このゲス女が。
Oh. Ava's face twisted hideously as her words gouged into Natsui's heart like talons wrenching at it. She's crying. There were 100 ways Natsui wanted to respond. However, her anger and sorrow crushed her throat, and none of those words managed to make it to her mouth. Her anger had nowhere to go and became a single hot tear that slowly dripped down. What is that face? Oh my god. Ava, what are you doing?
何か言い返したいならどうぞ言い返しなさいよ。ほーら。
Ava faced her with a provocative gaze. However, Natsui could do nothing but tremble, her clenched fists quivering. Yeah, I was about to say, like, is Kraus, like, just not gonna say anything about it? Kraus quietly broke that powder keg tension.
Natsuki. 席を外しなさい。頭を冷やすといい。
I think they both need to. Natsui, resenting the fact that her husband had not come to her aid, shifted the focus of her attack.
あなたはさっきから何を言われているのか分かってるんですか？
She's
この人た
supportive.
ちは言うにこと書いてあなたのことをお父様への裏切り者呼ばわりしているんです。私たちが後ろ宮家の栄光を守り、お父様からそれを受け継ぐため日々高潔であろうとする全ての努力をないがしろにして踏みにじる、なんという聞きがたい暴言。あなたもあなたです。どうして言い返さないんですか？あなたが言い返さないから私が言い返しているのに、さっきからあなたは私に任せっきりで。
He probably just simply doesn't care.
その私に頭を冷やして来いなんて言うんですか？いつも私ばかり。私はいつも真剣にこの家のことを考えているのに、それは
Oh god. Natsui was already unable to hide her tears. She flew from the room in that state. After that, all that remained was a somewhat embarrassed mood about the parlor. When the sound of footsteps grew distant and silence returned, Kraus shrugged his shoulders slightly.
妻が失礼した。昔から感情を抑えるのが下手でね。
That's probably a good sign. She really cares
私
about
も
it.
苦労している。
あんなのに切り盛りされてたんじゃ。
兄さんも気苦労が絶えないわね。
Bruh. Ava, why you make me not like you now?
奥様。何でもありません。下がりなさい。
That's where he flew into her room and threw herself onto her bed, lamenting. Those heart-wrenching sobs reached Kumasawa in the hallway.
おいたわしや奥様。奥様とエヴァ様は犬猿の仲。
Yeah, Plushie. That's great, no?
このお二人の関係を説明するのは、女の私にはとてもしんどくございます。後ろ宮家は血を特に重んじられますが、嫁いで家を出れば、本来は序列から除籍されます。
Yeah, I'm not really surprised. Disney kind of owns like every last thing on the planet.
ですから、エヴァ様も本来は秀吉様とのご成婚の際に除籍されるはずだったのです。ところが、これは誰のせいでもありません。ましてや奥様のせいであろうはずもありません。神様の気まぐれとしか言いようがありません。クラウス様と夏日様にはなかなか子宝が授からなかったのです。何しろ男尊女卑の後ろ宮家でございます。
It does seem that way.
妻は後継ぎを残す
A
ため
wife
の
is merely a tool to create an heir.
その妻が唯一の役割を果たせないのなら、もはや人間扱いなどされません。当時の奥様が親方様からどれほど責め苛まれていたか思い出すのも苦しゅうございます。そんな中、エヴァ様に秀吉様とのご結婚の話が持ち上がりました。エヴァ様は狡猾でした。奥様がいつまでも身ごもられないことにつけ入って親方様に取り入ったのです。入り婿を取って自分が跡継ぎを産むと吹き込み、ご自分の席を後ろ宮家にとどまらせるよう認めさせたのでございます。
I'm just trying to like get through this like freaking arc we have right now before I end the stream. It just keeps going. You're getting a lot of info right now.
後ろ宮家に嫁ぎ、外様扱いの奥様と入り婿を取る形で血族として残ったエヴァ様は、後ろ宮家の序列の中では雲泥の差。しかもエヴァ様は先にそれも男児をご出産されております。どれほど奥様の立場がエヴァ様の前で弱いものであったか、お察しいただけますでしょうか。
Yeah, is that why Ava is... Oh wait, she's only the third in power because he's the first in power. I thought it worked like the kids, like he would be first and second, but no, it's just... He's first, he's second, she's third. Even though she's the second child, okay. That got kind of confusing for a second. I thought it was just because she was a woman that they like made her do that. What the Eater World says a boss theme.
今日のエヴァ様の増長を許さずに済んだだろうという悔しい気持ちがあるに違いありません。
Oh god. They're probably making new themes for every last boss. Yeah, they probably got a certain someone working on the soundtrack. That's why the update's taking so long. Nah. No, I'm joking. Not really.
しかし、それは奥様のせいであろうはずもない。すべては気まぐれな神様とジェシカさんをお届けすることが遅れたコウノトリのせいなのでございます。
The stork.
だからといって奥様にはそうと割り切れるはずもない。ただただ妻としての責務を全うできなかったことに女として悔し涙をこぼすしかできないでしょう。はあ、おいたわしや。
Krause ain't helping nothing.
私には何もできず、こうして物陰から見守ることしかできないのです。
Oh, there we go. God dang. They got intense. But, yeah, now I can end the stream. And that was almost 2 hours. That was actually, pretty juicy. A lot more. Why is the game tweaking? Okay. What? How do I title back? Jesus Christ. We got Kenzo backstory, we got like an hour and a half just argument. Learned a bit about the positions of power and just Kenzo probably being like a black magic user. Having like a lot of luck. And sexism apparently. I don't know. But yeah, it's getting pretty interesting. We ain't even past episode 1 still. Even though it's been like 8 hours, I think. But it is like the second longest visual novel ever, so I wasn't really expecting anything else. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream, so thank you for watching. Baldy, we got a new chatter today. We got Baldy PogChamp. Wait, what? You're quite through this beginning build-up portion of it? The Ushiro Miyas have a lot of things going. Okay. So am I actually getting a lot done? Thanks for, yeah, thank you for joining. I haven't had too many people actually join my streams. I think they've watched, but not a lot of people have like talked. So yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. If you want to join again, I don't know when I'm going to stream this again, but maybe a day or two. It's usually how it goes. But yeah, goodbye and good night. I don't know what time it is, but yeah. I'll lurk sometimes. Alright.